Hello students, today I'll be taking your class on chapter 4, that is plant life, photosynthesis and respiration. As we all know, Earth is only planet where life sustains. That means we find different type of living organisms on the Earth. But one thing is common among them, that is, they all need food for growth and energy. So, on the basis of nutrition, organism can be divided into two types, that is, autotrophs and heterotrophs. First, let us understand what is autotrophs. So, when I say autotrophs, auto means self and trophs means nourishment. So, they are the organisms which can prepare their own food. So, I guess you all know organisms which can prepare their own food, that is plants. Plants are known as autotrophs because they can prepare their own food. Now, next is heterotrophs. Heterotrophs, they are the organism which cannot prepare their own food. That means they are directly or indirectly dependent upon plants for food. All the animals on the earth are directly or indirectly dependent upon the plants for food. That means example of heterotrophs are all the animals present on the earth. In this particular chapter, we will be discussing two important physiological processes related with plant life. And those two physiological processes are photosynthesis and respiration. Today, we'll be discussing only about photosynthesis. First, we have to understand what do you mean by photosynthesis? What are the different factors which affects photosynthesis? And then we'll be discussing about the importance of photosynthesis. So, let us understand what is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants prepare their food. So, where does the photosynthesis takes place? It takes place in leaves. What are the raw materials required for photosynthesis to take place? Those raw materials are carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and chlorophyll. What do they produce? They produce glucose as well as oxygen as the byproduct. Next, we will be discussing about the factors affecting the rate of photosynthesis. So, different factors which affects the rate of photosynthesis are light, carbon dioxide, temperature, water, and chlorophyll. First, let us discuss about light. With the increase in the intensity of the light, your photosynthesis rate is also gonna increase. That means they are directly proportional. More is the intensity of light, more faster will be the rate of photosynthesis. Number 2, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, concentration of carbon dioxide up to 1% helps in increasing the rate of photosynthesis. But beyond that 1%, plants do not take up carbon dioxide. Number 3 is temperature. Temperature up to the level of 40 degrees Celsius is good for photosynthesis to be carried out. Above 40 degrees Celsius, photosynthesis rate is gonna decrease. That is because different enzymes which are responsible for carrying out photosynthesis gets denatured above 40 degrees Celsius. Next, water. Water which provides hydrogen for the formation of glucose, the main product of photosynthesis. But plants can absorb only about 1% of the water for carrying out photosynthesis. Rest of the water is lost in the form of vapor through the stomata. That process is known as transpiration. Next factor is chlorophyll. The chlorophyll, as we all know, the pigment which gives the green color to the plant or to the leaves. More the chlorophyll does not mean that the more faster will be the rate of photosynthesis. Optimum amount of chlorophyll only helps in increasing the rate of photosynthesis, but if the amount of chlorophyll is much above the optimum level, it probably kills the plant. As I told you, the site of photosynthesis is leaf. Then how do the different raw materials required to carry out the photosynthesis reaches this particular site? Number 1, water. Plant absorbs water from the soil with the help of root. Through root, it reaches the stem, from stem to the leaves. But the main conducting element or tissue which helps in conduction of the water from the root to the leaf is xylem vessel. Number 2, carbon dioxide. Leaves, they have a tiny pores present on the lower surface. Those tiny pores are called stomata. Through this stomata, carbon dioxide enters the leaves and oxygen, which is produced during photosynthesis, leaves the leaf. Number 3, chlorophyll. It's a green color pigment because of which leaves are green in color. The function of this chlorophyll, other than providing a green color to the leaf, is to trap sunlight. With the help of energy of sunlight, carbon dioxide combines with the water and then forms glucose. But glucose being soluble in water, it immediately has to be converted into starch for further use, so that it can be utilized whenever needed by the plants. So next we'll be discussing about the importance of photosynthesis. As we all know, by the process of photosynthesis, plants prepare their food. And we also know that all the different organisms on earth are dependent upon plants for food, directly or indirectly. So if photosynthesis does not occur, then the survival of different organisms on the earth would have been impossible. Number 2 importance is carbon dioxide, which is released by different kind of living organisms as a byproduct of respiration, as well as through different automobiles, are absorbed by the plants to carry out the photosynthesis, thus reducing the air pollution. Number 3, as we know, the byproduct of photosynthesis is oxygen, and without the help of oxygen, respiration cannot be performed. Respiration means It's a process by which energy is produced in a living organism. So, photosynthesis is one of the important physiological process not just for plants but for all the living organisms on earth.